Top H0 moins 1 minute.
All right, we're into the final 60 seconds of the first launch of the year. Remember, you can follow all the action on the website. You have the address right there. The ignition sequence, tell us about that, Alex. You'll hear the DDO call out allumage,
yes,
which is ignition.
You'll see the flame under the main engine, Vulcan. So we shall ignite the engine and check it for 7 seconds.
That's the main engine.
That's the main engine. And when everything's fine and with the check is okay, then the ignition of the boosters and the actual liftoff.
Okay, so you get main engine lights up first, computers check out for 7 seconds, all the pressure, testing it on the ground, and then the boosters go. We'll let the DDO call out the final countdown and be back after Ariane has cleared the tower.
À tous de DDO, attention pour le décompte final. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, unité. Top, allumage Vulcain. Confirmé. Top, allumage EAP, décollage. On va remettre à bord son ordre.
Beautiful. There, Ariane off on her way with just a 24-hour delay, leaving a trail of gold as she rises into the sky over French Guiana at 18:51 local time and right on time. Ariane began her mission.
And right on time. So we had a mass at liftoff of 773 tons, including 554 tons for the sole boosters. The boosters, which give a very strong initial acceleration that will increase velocity from 0 to 7,200 km per hour in about 2.3 minutes. That's 4,500 miles per hour. So after booster separation, which will occur in about 2 minutes, the launcher will have lost about 75% of its liftoff mass. The boosters will fall down into the Atlantic Ocean in a zone which has been secured by an international advice to maritime navigation.
Ariane burning now 5 tons of fuel per second. That's 2.5 tons in each booster per second. The EPC, also the core stage, as it's called, is burning another 300 kilos of fuel per second. All that adds up to roughly the equivalent of a dozen Airbuses. She's now following the program in the onboard computer, which gives all the orders, including stage separations, which we will soon see. 4 powered flight phases tonight. We're in the first one, the main engine, and the boosters, as Alex said, they're going to burn for another maybe 20 seconds. Alex, take a look on the left, the upper left screen. Can you give us a description of the curve, please?
Yeah, we see the simulated flight trajectory, which is computed by using very accurate mathematical models of the launcher and the ATV, and by application, of course, of the Keplerian laws for the ballistic phase.
Which we're going to hear about a little later.
Yeah, a little later.
All 3 of them.
So the Mach, which follows...
DDO has just called out the separation of the boosters. You can see what that looks like. There's another one out of camera range on the left, but they fall back down right on time at about 64 kilometers up, I think. They fall away from the shore. People streaming back in from the terraces, you can see in the background there.
Just now to follow the actual flight. And now we're expecting the fairing separation.
That's the next milestone.
Minutes.
You can see the cursor crawling up on the upper left. I don't know if you can read it. Sep Quaff. It says separation of the fairing. On the lower left, Alex, can you describe what the bottom lines are?
Yes, we have the real-time information from the launcher of the velocity and the altitude, and also the angle of the telemetry antenna with respect to horizontal.
So you see the altitude. The altitude is 102 kilometers. That's the second line. So we're above the atmosphere, which is where we can separate the fairing, and the DDO will call out that milestone in a moment. We are in the second.
Largage de la coiffe.
There it is. Largage.
There it is. So we don't need the protection of the fairing anymore. We have crossed the atmospheric layers, and then now we don't need this 2 tons weight anymore.
There are actually 2 halves. One half, like one of the boosters before, was out
of...
Yeah,
it's cut vertically and horizontally.
Everything is perfect on board, says the DDO. The ATV now under the fairing, exposed to the elements.